we had a job interview offer that is definitely the biggest we've had so far.
Don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons with me, a man who could probably have made that header in the last game. But hey, we move on. I'm definitely not bitter. As always, if you've enjoyed the series up to this point, drop a like on the video. Where the Elsa Ultra's at. So I've had a little look at sort of stuff to do with that, because it obviously it happens sometimes, and sometimes it will just happen. However, there's always some things you could potentially do. I had a look and I thought maybe it's just because we know that he has bad positioning, but we have seen that exact thing happen, I believe, earlier in this exact season to either Geladaris or Otto, and they have 14 and 15 positioning respectively. So I don't know. I'm putting it could definitely be that, but it could also just be one of those random things, because he was having a pretty good game other than that. And I also wanted to start just by showing the comparison between Edvin 11 so far and Ferenc Kovacevic, just based on the league form, because obviously, you know, taking cup stuff into it, it's not really fair. So far, obviously, minutes played, Kovacevic has played a lot more. You can see that goals per 90 minutes, they're actually relatively similar, although Edvin is slightly ahead. But he has got an assist as well, which is nice to see. He does make more key passes, like a considerable amount more, whilst maintaining a relatively similar pass completion. He hits the target a tiny bit more, but not by much. Better in the tackle as well, and when he does go for tackles, he really does do it. And the other thing is, he does seem to cover more distance when he's in the team, so it seems like he's just working that little bit harder. Maybe because of the slightly better pace and acceleration, he's just able to cover a bit more ground. And his average ratings, you can see over this period, have been a lot better than Kovacevic. Now, it's definitely not the end for Kovacevic by any means. It's just at this minute right now, Edvin 11 is the man who's doing the job for us in that role, and I really don't think I could conceivably take him out until he starts putting up several bad performances, much like how I waited until Kovacevic had done the same thing before doing it with him as well. Is bloody massive. Despite our league position, we very much have to consider this a relegation 6-pointer. Away at Debrecen, if we get the win, we are in dreamland, because we would move 6 clear of them. No matter what, we will be 6 clear, at least, of the relegation zone at the end of the day, if we win this game. No matter what happens in the other games, and it could be as much as 8. We have had a nice little rest, so I'm going to do another rotation here just to see. I'm actually quite liking the Stan Van Dijk and Leandro Crispin partnership. And their ratings are doing well. They're creating chances, they're scoring goals. Well, not creating chances, but they're doing okay, even if it is for that one sort of slight error from time to time. I'm going to bring back Arteaga on this right-hand side for Albert Stahl today, because he has performed well and I think he deserves it. Same kind of stories here, although I am going to play Laszlo Deutsch on the left instead of Mikhailov, because once again, the rating, he's just not done well. Deutsch is a better defender, and he's a better, fullback too. That's the key thing. Mikhailov just has better mentals and slightly better physicals in certain areas. But the thing is, Deutsch has got 5 better crossing, he's better in the tackle, better at marking, better positioning, all of those things that really matter, he's better than. Almost feel sorry for Regan Booty having to drop out after scoring literally the goal that could have won us that game. But that's how these things go. We'll bring in Ben Salem again, who once another player that has really not been superb so far, but then neither's really Regan Booty either in his performances, so we'll have to see. Wait, Stavitsky can't not be on the bench either. I'll put him in instead of Grossu. The other thing as well that Arteaga has over Stahl is that he doesn't have this instruction confliction. Not that it's affected Stahl too much in the past, as we know, but I do wonder if it leaves Arteaga able to be more stringent with our actual tactical approach. Right, let's go. Away at Debrecen, huge game as far as our potential chances at staying up. Particularly after the last result as well, this kind of does need to be a win, really, given what I said about what I expected from these fixtures. Now, obviously, if we were to draw, it still would leave us in a relatively strong position, but I just don't know if I want another draw at this point. We really do need those points, because you just have to know where those points are going to come from, right? Composed from Crespin, nice work. That was less good, though. It's a nice idea, actually, and Arteaga's got it here. Grekshow, round the side. Oh, there was a good pass on there. A bit of an overlap, though. 11's in, and a good save from the goalkeeper. But once again, 11 getting through and finding a shot on target. Keep him outside the box. Good tackle, and well cleared. What on earth? I take it that clearance deflect. Oh, wow. Good save from Joe Walsh. We're controlling the possession quite nicely here, which does suggest to me that we could maybe move to slightly higher tempo if we needed to. Ben Salem. Oh, the possession's getting a bit ridiculous now. It's up to 68%. We have to start moving that ball a bit faster. Van Dijk's header over the crossbar. Please don't just shoot. Don't shoot. Just hold on to the ball. Maybe win a penalty. And he has won a penalty. Goes through the back of Laszlo Deutsch. I mean, that is about as penalty as I've seen all season, really. Here we go. Come on. Arteaga. on the stroke of half-time to give us the lead in a relegation clash of dreams. And it's a lovely finish from in the bottom corner. It's Debrecen 0. The crowd goes silent, and Daniel Arteaga gives us the lead in a huge game at the bottom of the league. Now, we were in front in the last game, of course, but this has been a far more dominating performance as far as possession goes, and now we can really hold on to that. If we have to win through a penalty, then we do, but this is huge. Well, there we go. Half-time, 1-0 Szeged from the penalty spot, albeit, but we've got a complete stranglehold on the ball at the moment, and that's superb. We just need to keep doing that and just kill the game. Pretty subdued half so far. We've not seen a lot from either team, really, and that's kind of the way I like it right now. If we have to get a 1-0, then we do. That's surely offside against Bosic, right? Right? No, it's not. It's a goal. Radovoy Bosic off of the cross from Ben Salem. And now it's 2-0 to Szeged. I don't know how. It was just such a subdued highlight. It just randomly started and I thought, oh, this is, it's going to build up for ages. But Arteaga gets the ball here, drops it short for Ben Salam, and he's just popped one over the top. Oh, the left back's playing him on. But what a finish from Bosic. Goalkeeper's absolutely all over the place there. And it's a mistake for Debrecen that could cost them dear. 2-0. Zilic. Don't let them have one here. Otherwise, we could have all sorts of trouble. Crispin's ball through. And a good save from Walsh. I don't know how Cisse doesn't win that header, but it doesn't matter because we've got away with it. Just as he's starting to find a bit of form, and we haven't got any more subs because I just made the last sub to get Jurisic off because he was a bit knackered. So we might have to see out the rest of this game, but get that clean sheet, lads. And we look like we will. It's going to be Debrecen 0, Szeged 2, again, for the second time this season. Now, in the first game against them, it was definitely a very even game that we were pretty lucky to come out on the other side of, although it does look like we were about to hand them a goal here, potentially. Well saved by Walsh again. But today, I think we've been much better value for a good win there. And that's a great win in the end. 4-2. 2-0. Really good. Jurisic was superb in the midfield there. Just everybody did their jobs, and that's what we needed. The penalty was great, but Bosic did a brilliant as well. And that's probably one of our better performances this season. So well done, lads. Huge goal. Huge everything. And with that, we go 7th. 16 points from 12 games. 4 points. I said I wanted 6. 4 is definitely well within what I wanted. So that is, I'm ecstatic with that. Really, really strong. We're basically halfway there to the points tally I want after only 12 matches, which is exactly where we need to be right now. Right, so some slightly tougher games coming up off camera, and we finish off with Ferencvaros here, who are of course top of the league at the moment. So we've kind of bought ourselves the right to have a bit of a poor run, but if we could just snatch a point or a win off someone, that would be massive. Right, guys, we're back. Oh my god, we have a lot to talk about. But first up, it was at home against Budapest Honved. And look at this pass from Stavitsky. Slips it around the side. Greksho makes the run and side foots that one home for 1-0 inside 2 minutes. Brilliant start. And I think we should have beaten these guys when we played them away earlier this season. So that's not really that much of a surprise. But then Stavitsky on the 13th made it 2-0. Great stuff there. But then 32 minutes in, Ben Halam with the ball through, and there was Van Dijk for 3-0 in the first half. And then in the second half, Ben Salam's ball in. This time it was Crespin on the end for 4-0 as the drubbing just continued. And then the pick of the bunch. Watch this from Stavitsky. Absolute rocket for 5-0 after 57 minutes. Unfortunately, we did our normal thing and were unfortunately able to concede. Guy just takes it completely around the goalkeeper. Simple stuff. And it was 5-1. But easily our biggest win of the season. But you can see this. They somehow managed to create a not quite as much XG, but nearly as much off of very few shots, which is somewhat incredible. And I think 5-1 is extremely harsh on them. But it's crazy to see us just go off like this. And this is something I've noticed about this tactical style and shape, both over this save and using a bit of it with Chomsky, and even in the Streamer Showdown. It seems to get better with time. The more links, the more cohesion that you get out of the players that you've got in these roles, the better it seems to work over the course of a season. Now, I know that can really apply to any tactic, but I find that this one is particularly dependent on that. We always seem to be a bit slow starting and then just have to hit the gas and just go for it. It's crazy. However, in training after that, Ben Salam broke his ribs and is going to be out for 3 months. Now, I replaced him in the squad as we were allowed to do that due to a 3-month injury. He'll be back after Christmas, but still, a big loss for us. And in addition to that, the fact that we're actually scoring goals from set pieces this season, for me, is a big factor in why we're doing slightly better as well. We weren't really doing that for like the last season and a half, quite frankly, with Szeged, and it was really costing us goals in quite important matches at times. Whereas this season, we're getting those marginal gains from having those set piece threats with Crespin and Van Dijk that it's winning us games. As the story continued at home against Budaos, ball around the side here for Greksho, gets it back. Aria, I mean, it's just terrible goalkeeping there. I don't know what he's even doing, as 11 is able to slap that one, there it is, that word again, slap us home after 15 minutes. But then, 90th minute of the match, Booty put the ball in, Crespin on the end of it, 2-0 us. And It's just, yet again, really good on the night, but once again, only marginally better than our opponents. But those little things that we're able to do with the likes of Crespin, and Deutsch was fantastic in this game, made a huge difference. I've actually been deploying Kovacevic at times through as the Metsala due to the injury that we've had, and it's been an interesting experiment for me, and I don't mind him there, but I'm still not sure. And then last up, it was a very fortunate 0-0 draw at home to Outcasts. They were better than us, to be honest. But once again, the defenders stood strong. Stan Van Dijk and Leandro Crespin as a centre-back pairing are mopping up. Crespin, I don't think he's put in a performance in about 8 games now that's been less than a 7. And Stan Van Dijk's been equally as good. I think one of the other things as well with this system is finding the right personnel and getting them in exactly the right positions. As again, we found out the weekend with the showdown. That seems to make things like this tick. And now that we've got Deutsch in, now that Crespin, despite all the odds, has actually really shown me, he made that mistake, but he's been so good otherwise than that. And that as well, Joe Walsh, as well as a goalkeeper, for me, is better than this league. And having him, I think is part of the reason, again, that we've not conceded as many goals as we perhaps should do, because we are overperforming by any metric. But nevertheless, we're 7th in the league, 23 points on the board. Now, okay, I agree that we're overperforming because when you look at our XG for and against, we should have scored a few less goals, only a couple, and we should have conceded a couple more goals. We've actually got one of the best defences in the league, and we probably should have conceded more than we have done. And I really do think that Joe Walsh is part of the reason that those 6 clean sheets, he's been spectacular for us this season, and I'm so glad we brought him in because he's been a real marginal gain again. But when you actually look at us in comparison to the rest of the league in terms of position based on that, we're 7th for one and 8th in the other. So really, we should be around about 7.5 in the league right now, which is kind of where we are. Although what I would say is there's a 7-point gap between 7th and 8th right now. And I do apologise the fact that the ad boards for the showdown were still in the save. Basically, I'd have to restart the entire game to do that. And you know those times when you're winning and things are going well and you just don't want to restart or even like be out of the save because you're worried that even doing that would like disrupt the flow of whatever luck is going in our favour right now. So I just didn't want to jinx it, to be honest. So those will definitely be sorted next time. Now, the biggest thing. We had a job interview offer that is definitely the biggest we've had so far. Ironically, I was already planning on calling the episode this before we got this one because we got 3 job offers all in the Czech League over the course of like 3 days. The first offer we got was against Fastav Zlin. Then we got FK Teplice straight after that. And then Mladia Boleslav all offered us a job interview within about 3 days. But that to me showed that the fact that we're capable of potentially getting a job in the Czech top flight straight off the back with these teams that are not muggy. You know, they're decent size. Obviously, they're struggling at the moment, but you'd expect them to do better over time, and particularly the likes of Mladia Boleslav. And then we got another job offer, which I tell you what was really difficult to say no to at this point, and it was Royal Antwerp. This is a different kettle of fish entirely. I've always wanted to manage in Belgium. I thought that might be quite fun to do at some point. Now, and don't get me wrong, I have obviously turned this down, but I'm not above potentially leaving a club midway through a season if the perfect job came up. But if we're being offered job interviews with a team that is 12th place in the Belgian top flight, something tells me our next job could be a real big step up for us. I mean, don't get me wrong, if someone like, I don't know, Club Brugge or some massive Belgian side, or one that hasn't obviously been in European finals and stuff, came in, I would be like, genuinely be like, well, maybe we should just leave. But right now, I really would like to finish out the season as things go. So Jurisic is suspended here, which means our midfield pairing is going to get a bit spicy. And I don't know if that's really what I want, although, well, actually, it might have to be what I want, to be honest. Bosic, of course, as well, is out for 5 weeks after that injury he suffered in the first live com too. So that might have to be it. Still waiting for Kovacevic to really show me something right now. That's fine. But he may have to just slot in there right now because 11 is actually a joint top scorer. So is Van Dijk, to be honest. He's been all over the place this season. I think that the form we're in currently is unlikely to last for the full rest of the season because we have been overperforming. But that's fine. We've kind of put ourselves in a really nice position. Like, to have 23 points on the board at this point, we need another, basically 4 wins for the rest of the season, I'd say would keep us in the top. Oh, look at that. Artie Haga just getting in there. Really aggressive work from the lad. That's the sort of stuff that we weren't seeing before. We look like we're prepared to go toe-to-toe with teams a lot more now. There's a real cohesion about the squad. They actually fighting for each other. They know what they're doing. The passing has improved dramatically. The defending has improved dramatically as well. Van Dijk is, and again, brilliant header from Van Dijk, but that's going to come straight back at us here, and it could cost us if that ball in behind happens. Thankfully, their striker's dropped a bit deeper, and he might just... Oh, that's a great ball for Pombo! What a save! Did that hit the bar? I don't know if that hit the bar or whether Walsh saves that, but if he does save that, that might be the save of the season. Yeah, that was on target. Joe Walsh right there, showing exactly what I'm talking about with how I feel like he alone is winning us points this season, with keeping us in matches that we have no right to still be involved in at times, honestly. That's how good of a goalkeeper Joe Walsh has been for us. despite everyone else around this squad doing well with Crespin and Van Dijk, I feel like Walsh might end up being our signing of the season. That's just awful. There were better options on. Come on, lads. We've not seen as much of that kind of passing lately. Oh, Bolly's through, and Walsh is there, and he's still managed to save it. I think the defender got a touch on that, but still, great positioning. We're really struggling for possession, which is something we don't really like doing. 11, though. Stavitsky, if we could just get a bit of play. Oh, what a ball for Cisse. Round the side for Kovacevic. Great stop from the goalkeeper there, and that honestly could have been us in front. Little openings like that are so damn important, and we really could. I mean, it's still a tight angle for him, but you never know. He takes that. Just never know what could happen. Kovacevic round the side for 11 again. He's through. He gets the shot away, and it's well saved by the goalkeeper. Is that Jagielka in goal there? Oh no, Jedlicka. Dead even at half time away at Ferencváros. Something about this team has just changed, and they just seem to be really in sync right now. Like, we can hold our heads high performance-wise today. We've come here to one of the biggest sides and probably, one of the biggest league title challenges this season. And once again, are not getting outclassed. Pombo out wide. We need big headers in the box here to stop this. Please don't give away a stupid penalty or something. We seem to have cut that out of our game too a little bit lately. Booty clears it. They're starting to get a lot more pressure on us. Their composure's improving. They're finding little openings in us this time around. Kobol. Ball through again. Edge of the box as Pombo drills it over the bar. But the pressure will continue. If we could hold on and get a draw away at Ferencváros, that would be really, really something. But we can't let us get... Oh, Booty! Oh, Regan! Lovely idea. He did well to get in that and very nearly could have won that ball and started an amazing counter-attack potentially for us. It's a great ball through for Bolly! It's off the post and cleared away again. 10 minutes to go. He's getting into the box again. Booty comes... Oh, no, not Booty. It was Bosic off the bench flying across there. That is an awful pass. And oh, come on. Shocking. Bolly there gives Ferencváros the lead. I mean, there's no excuse for that. That is appalling. Oh, we've defended so well in this game. It's a brilliant tackle. And he just has to be patient here. There's so many passing options. And he just... What? I understand he's trying to play that to Kovacevic. But patience, man. Come on. Just completely unnecessary there. And it's cost us the point. I mean, they're going to take their time over this to get this 1-0. And as they should do. I would do the same thing in their position. One single mistake has cost us what would have been a very good point. We wouldn't have deserved it, but we've done so well at doing that exact thing this season. Yeah, just first half good, second half just sort of fell off a lot, and they got a deserved goal in the end, but we shouldn't have given it to them like that. But Bosic, not good, man, not good. But once again, still only a narrow defeat to a team who, okay, they're fourth at the moment, but I feel like they will still be challenging. And look at the goal difference and stuff. It's definitely good signs that we don't lose big by any time. I think we've only lost by more than a goal on one occasion this season, potentially. So that's a very, very strong sign. Still 9 points above the drop zone. We have a positive goal difference as well, which is fine by me. The league is really split into the top 7 and the bottom 5 right now. And thankfully, we're into that top 7 little group right now. That's fine. Still frustrating, though. It's those tiny little marginal things. But, I mean, we haven't actually scored in our last 2. It sort of started to dry up a little bit. But we had scored quite a few before then. And that kind of evens it out because we scored way too many in that game. So it is what it is. So we're going to be coming back, of course, for MTK away from home, actually, in the next round. Who do we get? Oh, we got Debrecen at home. That's super duper good. And we got Fehervar at home in the next round of fixtures, which is even better. So really happy with that. So halfway stage of the season, things are looking pretty damn good for us right about now. I think we'll start to sort of equalise a little bit, but still, if we can come 7th this year, or even, we just manage the gap, really. That's what we've got to do. If you've enjoyed this, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be awesome too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, to go follow there as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more madness as we start off against MTK Budapest. And I don't know, probably come back like here or something. We'll figure it out. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.